Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 10 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches, so as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Aaron Donald racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Off play action. Here's Goff. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's gone. He gets it to Cooks. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. You think back to the Super Bowl against New England, the Rams never even got into the red zone in that game, and now here they are in the red zone on their opening drive with a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
It's going to be a long day. That's going to be...
Go, 76. 76.
Here's Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Defensively, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal.
14.
44, Mike. Check.
2 for 66.
Hey, check 24. Watch.
Out of the gun, Goff. Buying time to his left. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Zerline good with a PAT. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's gone. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run. This is Darrell Henderson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. He'll let this go for, and it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Bucky Hodges, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it, tight window. Zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15.
Michael, 180.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Super one.
Now Goff on 1st down.
Watch the shit.
He's got it at the 15. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero.
The ball carried by the wide receiver.
Like 20.
A gain on the play.
54.
First
My
down,
54.
Los Angeles.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Yo, baby, they turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
4 down.
Deuce.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they...
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Chip and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here are the Rams to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they... got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10.
Hey, Shell.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Goff now to throw. He'll rifle this one deep. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 34. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages. You know, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Jaron Reed in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2nd down, it's Henderson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Goff. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. This is Homer. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Aaron Donald in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well to get a few stops.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Defense wins championships, man.
Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Will Disley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
That'll go as a loss of 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Running right, here's Brown. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them.
He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
All day, every day.
Here we go, fellas.
Now a first down throw, gone. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now left side on the swing pass. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Obama. Obama. Obama.
From the gun on third down, Goff. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Brandon Cooks, 36 yards. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. He finds Robinson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
You ain't going nowhere.
Here's Wilson, throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson, and that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and...
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, L.A. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll run. This is Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On second down now, it's Henderson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Brown. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage.
And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the run.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken. About 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it.
That's caught inside the 20. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax, you know. We talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Going on the ground with Homer. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches.
Pilot, 64, weak, hit it.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
On the ready.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Barber.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throw left side complete. It's Hodges. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Hey, check.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Malcolm Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. To throw is Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. To throw is Wilson. To throw again. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 41-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat him.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Aaron Donald. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. And
he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to... cut into that deficit. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is down to 20. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. This is Brown. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I'm here all day.
They'll drop to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Ready.
They're going to look to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Now it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That goes for a gain of 31. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking for his tight end on the corner, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 at this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now they got to get to the line quickly. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's going to go up top for the... And oh, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
On third down, it's Brown. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.